I'm Devon Miller, Vice President of Operations, and I've been with the company for 39 years, and I can say they've been enjoyable years.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Devon. So tell us a little bit more about the operations department, what they do, and how your leadership position is implemented into the daily ins and outs of those who work in the operations department.
Sure. Hannah, the operations world consists of everything from the upfront design, so our engineering group of the products, materials group, which sources a product and provides our daily needs on what it takes to build the units. And then obviously the production world is a big piece of that in terms of number of people. And then the quality world is also under the operations umbrella. One of the main things I'm focused on is understanding where we're at today in our plants based on what our current demands are and that type of thing. And one of the main ways that I do that is I love getting out into the plants, not only to see the product, more importantly, to see our people, hear from them firsthand, what their needs are, how things are going for them. It's what I love to do. And then in terms of my role, as a company, we have a business plan and a model we're following as far as daily rates, what product is being produced and that type of thing. So a big portion of my focus is going to be more longer term looking. Do we have the facilities needed to meet that plan? Do we have the staffing and working with the appropriate folks in my area to ensure that we're covered in that regard?
Would you mind, telling us a little bit more about your background and how you got started in the RV industry and, how you made your way to Jayco? With over 40 years in the RV industry, were there any sources of inspiration that guided you during the early stages of your career?
Sure, Hannah. Well, getting started was pretty simple. I worked here for 3 summers when I was still in high school. Enjoyed that, but not knowing what I wanted to do after being here for that time period. I left actually for a year and went and worked for one of our competitors and ended up coming back and began in our parts area and kind of just worked my way through various areas within the company, still not knowing how long I would be here. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. 40 years later, or nearly 40 years later, here we are, having had a ton of opportunities in almost every department within the company, and I can tell you it's been a good ride.
Absolutely.
In terms of who's been an inspiration to me or what might have prompted me to kind of take the paths that I did, absolutely. There was one individual, actually was one of our Jayco employees, Dave Giltner, was an older gentleman that worked for us. I was a young man at the time, kind of took me under his arms and just offered a lot of good practical day-to-day advice on how to handle employees, things that people appreciate. Many of those things I still use today, and I owe him the credit for that.
Okay, Devon, would you mind reflecting on and sharing a little bit about the challenges that the company faced during the height of COVID and how Jayco and specifically its operations department managed to navigate through those challenges?
Absolutely, Hannah. That was a incredibly interesting time period that we were faced with. Anything from temperature checks, masks, those types of things. Probably the more memorable things, though, beyond those, once we really got into it, were the struggle of getting materials and supplies and being creative on how do we work through that. And I couldn't be more proud of my team, the operations team, all the way through in navigating through that. Today, we are better as a result of having had those experiences.
Tell me what you honestly believe sets the Jayco family of companies apart from other manufacturers in this industry.
Hannah, that's a simple question to answer. It's our people. Hands down, the reason I come to work every day is more for our people or because of our people than it is the job itself. I enjoy my job. I love our people. And I think it's truly what makes Jayco what it is today.
So Devon, I have to know, what are some things you like to do outside the office?
Well, Hannah, I've gotten back into fishing a bit, and so I go quite a bit, my wife thinks, in the summer times. Also enjoy hunting, but equally important to that is our family time, spending time with our son and daughter and grandkids. Love spending time with my wife. We enjoy going out to eat and doing some traveling, and just spending time together there.
So Devon, what advice would you give somebody who is just beginning their journey here at Jayco?
So Hannah, I think that's simple. I think for one, getting in, just apply yourself to every task that you've been given or assignment, whatever that may be, and give it your all. Doing your very best would be one thing. We're a great company for having opportunities available in the future, and by doing that, that certainly is one thing. Don't be afraid to learn more than just your scope of the job. Try to understand how it may impact others that work around you. Beyond that, I think also it's important, get to know your coworkers, those that you work with, not just from a work standpoint, but from a personal standpoint. We interact and deal with each other when we understand what happens outside might be beneficial long-term for us in our work setting as well.
Thank you so much, Devon, for sharing your insights into the operations department and just allowing the Jayco family to get to know you better. It's just been a huge pleasure having you join me today. And to the rest of the Jayco family, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for next month's video in this executive testimonial series and get ready for more exciting discussions to come.